So Tim, you've recently been doing Italian here with Fabio and Ferruccio, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you must have experienced their listening exercises.
Of course, yes.
How do you feel as a student? How did you feel sort of initially the first time you did that, and then maybe as you continue to do this similar types of exercises, has that changed at all?
Well, it's a bit hard. As a teacher, it's quite hard to separate myself as a teacher and as a student. And I was initially surprised that there wasn't really a focus. There was no like gist activities or detail activities. It was kind of listen to this and tell your partner what you understood, which is something that's quite counterintuitive as a teacher. But the other thing that I noticed that was very different was there were natural conversations with music, kind of relaxing music played in the background. But this part I liked immediately.
The sort of the relaxation.
The
side
relaxation side, it was kind of just relax yourself, close your eyes, listen. You know, there's pens, paper down, no writing, just and take what you want from it. It was kind of very open, incredible, as open as a task can be, I suppose.
Did you find it quite repetitive? How, I mean, the repetition, did you find useful or annoying or?
It would depend on I think as a teacher you'd have to be very careful of gauging the difficulty, because a couple of the listenings I've done, I found that after two listenings I felt like I got everything that I could from it, and I felt that for the repetitions I didn't really get much more, and not having any kind of focused activity, I just thought, right, well, I understood most of that, and so I was going to, sometimes we'd have to be telling our partner the same. Sometimes we change partners, sometimes it was the same partner, and sometimes my partner and I would just look and say, I didn't get anything else, you? No. Which was slightly frustrating, and then out of awkwardness we'd just start repeating what we'd heard the first time.
Okay.
But I mean, if it was a more challenging listening, then then the repetition was very useful, and you did find that you got more through repetition.
Did you find that compared to maybe what the stuff that we'd use in the English department in terms of authenticity of the text?
Yeah, I mean it definitely was. It sounded more authentic. Maybe to a language learner, some of our texts sound more authentic than they do to us, a native speaker. So I think they were relatively authentic texts.
Okay. Did you notice? How you felt initially? Did that change as you did it more often, or? I
suppose I got used to it. I think the first time I had my preconceptions about needing a task, and so I was.
Did you feel there was something missing?
A little bit to start with, and then when you got used to the style, then it was just like, okay, I know what I have to do. And
how about the other learners in the group? Did you sort of notice them, or?
Yes. You're supposed to close your eyes, but once or twice I opened them and looked around, and everybody seemed to be very involved in the task. I think it was more out of interest as a teacher, and it's quite funny to see everybody with their eyes closed in the different stances.
So then I guess the final question would be, like, as a learner, did you find these exercises useful for you? I mean, were they engaging? Were they helpful? Useful?
Yes, I think that they do help you kind of like focus on things like prominence and intonation a little bit more, and kind of contracted and weaker forms in the language, because you do once you understand the main message, then the second and third time you listen, you hear the kind of the more grammatical words and the kind of the weaker. So there was definitely it did help with like decoding and stuff.
Okay.
I would say, and so yeah, I think there are times. I guess the one problem with it would be, I mean, if there's some lexis that you just don't know, then listening to it 5 times is not going to help you with that. And there didn't seem to be many stages where you could
ask.
Yeah. And if you listen to a long listening, often if with no pen or pencil, by the time it's finished, you've often forgotten what that lexis was, or some of it anyway.
Okay.
So, but generally, a positive experience.
Okay. Thanks, Tim.
That's okay.